Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, including the stuff from Lost Origin, make sure you check out the Potown store. You can get a 5% discount on your orders using that code OmniPoke. For today's video, we are going to be looking at Arceus Giratina. It seems to be one of the best aggressive lines we can take in the format of using that Starbirth, taking advantage of the old Path Marnie combination. And rather than having type coverages all across the board, we're just going to use the very good raw damage output that Giratina VSTAR has at its disposal, with Arceus as our main accelerator and consistency engine. So we will be using that Trinity Nova to power up our Giratinas rather than relying on Mirage Gate and the Lost Zone things here. It does mean we lose out on the Star Requiem from a Giratina, but we have Radiant Hawlucha and Choice Belt actually to still reach into VMAX Pokemon, which is really a powerful thing to have in the game. So, as you all are aware of at this point, Arceus is one of the main attackers that we play in the deck, this Trinity Nova being so good at accelerating to our dudes, and that Starbirth really does allow lots of combos. We are playing Zig as well as Belt in the list, so we can have some aggressive Boss's Orders Trinity Nova KO plays, which is actually really important, I think, in this list, because it's not very easy for us to chain attacks with Giratina so much. I think we have to be pretty selective of when we go in with the Giratina, because of course it does Lost Zone energies, so have to be a little bit cautious. So having the Starbirth available, making sure that our turn 2 is a real power spike, be it disruption from Marnie Path, or be it Belt Zig boss combinations, or just getting our board state prepared, making sure we hit the likes of our double turbo energy, are going to be really important. We are playing, obviously, a 4-3 line here, and Trinity Charge is also a pretty big deal to have in the list as well, allowing us to, again, power up our other Pokemon, which is always a good thing to have. We are still playing the 2-2 Bibarel line. The Industrious Incisors helping out. It allows us to spam Marnie much more comfortably, knowing that we have our own card draw throughout the game, so definitely a nice thing to fall back on here. And then we have the 2-2 line of the Giratina VSTAR as our sort of supplementary attacker alongside the Arceus. The regular V has Shred, so we don't have to be concerned too much about Bliss Tank, because we can easily go through them. And we also have great beat stick potential from this Lost Impact attack. Ignore the Star Requiem, it's not going to be live here. We just have this 280 and put 2 energy attached to your Pokemon into the Lost Zone. And this does count for double turbo as well. So in many situations, it can be very strong for us to impact away double turbo energies off things like Arceus, which have tanked hits. So that's definitely a thing to bear in mind here. It is possible for us to chain the Lost Impact, just not the easiest thing for us to do in the world. From there, we have some supporting mons. Like I said, Zig alongside the Belt gives us some boss combination combos with Trinity Nova, which I think is pretty important, actually, because like I said, weaving in Giratina and chaining that attack isn't the easiest thing to go for. We have the Pumpkin, so we can get around opposing paths, which is very important. And we actually play a Radiant Hawlucha in the deck list to improve our damage output into VMAXs, which is very handy, actually. Jumping up to that 310 with the Lost Impact, and then 340 with the Choice Belt combination of the two of them. So you can even get around Oricorio, Muse, and OHKO Kyurem as well. So we have paths to shut down both of those decks and slow them down. But naturally, in order for them to play the game for the majority of the time, they need to bounce the path, and that's when Hawlucha comes online. So we are a little bit selective here and there. But I do think this is a solid option for us in the deck. I think you can actually debate lots of Radiants in the list. I think you could consider a Radiant Guardi, and you could also consider a Radiant Greninja just for extra draw if you just like cut the Bibarel line out, which sounds blasphemous, I know. But having higher hit points as your like backup engine could be pretty reasonable. But I think at the moment we're going for the Hawlucha for the 1-hit KOs into VMAXs, which are still prevalent in the game right now. And then we just have the Crobat as the dark asset to dig through the deck. Hopefully we hit energy in the opening stages and get our basics out, all that good stuff. The trainer cards are all just search, quick and ultra, as well as the incense. Of course, all the ball search has great synergy with Industrious Incisors. We've reduced the hand size, we can draw back up with the barrel, which is great. 2 copies of Switch. I think in previous builds of Bibarel, like Flying Peak, you got away with the 1. Part of it was because you had free retreat on Flying Peak itself, but also Switch is even more important in this 60. I could even consider putting in like a rope or an air balloon in addition to these 2, because if you're able to retain the energy on your Arceus rather than have to pay retreat, it makes the Lost Impact much more viable. So really do like the solid 2 count and could see it going even higher, to be honest. Paths, like I said, helping out Mirror, helping out against Mew and Kyurem. Just a very solid card in the game right now. Also gives us a defense against Charizard Lost Zone boxes, where we can constantly try and spam that Marnie. Paths especially important in the sort of mid to late game, so we shut down their Charizard as well. And typically, if they're copy-pasting towards list, they don't have many bounces to Path. They have to have combinations with Vacuum. And that can be really important, especially because we can even throw things like Big Charm onto our dudes and offset their math. Sometimes you can force like double Vacuum all in one turn, which can be really ugly for them, which is great. We have the regular supporter line that we have seen with Bibarel for a while now, not really making any changes here. All makes sense. I could see a second Raihan even coming into the list, because again, that allows you to chain Lost Impact that little bit easier. But at the moment, we're just at the one copy. Big Charm, pretty handy in opposing Tina matchups. Try and force them to hit the Vacuum on the opening stages. Anytime you can have an Arceus survive, it's actually massive in this deck, because getting double Trinity Nova off is so big for getting 2 Tinas powered up, or even a Tina and another backup Arceus, so then you have fodder for Lost Impact. So I really do like having that health buff. The belts, obviously, it helps us reach onto V maxes and can also be handy for the Zig belt plays. And then we are playing 14 energy, just the 5-5 split. You could think about going down to 4-4 of each, and then you play something like Capture Energy and possibly even Ordinary Rod. I think that's a reasonable include as well in the list. But right now I just like having the high counts, so in those situations where we do get double Tina rolling, we're feeling pretty good and not too concerned about what we get rid of with the Lost Impact. So a fairly straightforward 60 for the Arc Tina with Bibarel. Still really leaning into how strong good old... Have I starred the deck? Yeah, there it is. Leaning into how good Marnie Path is in the game. It's still just a deadly combination. Arceus still sets its stall out very nicely with the Starbirth, and it's a great thing to go into sort of 15-round tournaments and have Starbirth at your back, because it means you're at least getting into the game and being a problem for most archetypes. So let's see what we can get on the ladder and see how the deck goes, because its actual Trainer Hill data is pretty promising right now, to be fair to it. I think it has a shaky Lost Zone Tina matchup, which is a little bit off-putting. But otherwise, its matchup spread is very promising. That's our mulligan. We are starting a Crobat, which isn't great, and looks like we're up against Zoroark VSTAR. So it could be an out-and-out race here. Starting the Crobat's never great, but Marnie Path is handy, at least in the early stages for us. I have Ball Search to get double Arc developed, so there's some stuff going on for us. I could try and get a one-prizer into the active with Switch as well. It's a possible line. We shall wait and see. Zoroark, typically one of our harder matchups, I would say, because our early Trinity Novas aren't taking knockouts on their Zoroarks, but their Zoroarks could knock us out back, so we will have to see what's what here. Looks like they're going Bog Hawlucha. Still have their Wisdom that they can play here. They might be at panic stations already. Manaphy is going to come down, so it's a Crobat for 3. Actually, it's a Crobat for 2, because we know that one of their cards is basically useless. Oh, it was a Zoroark that they put on top. Interesting. I guess the order isn't the thing. Alright, well, Path is a great draw for us early. So let's get rid of Ultra Ball here, I think. And then let's scout. So I do have my other 2 VSTARS, so I can also quick ball away this one, just to get 2 basics developed. I think I definitely want to do that. We have our 2-2 line. We're definitely grabbing an Arc. Oh, we actually prized Pumpkin. So there's a world where it's really bad for me to Path. because they, in theory, could launch an attack on us. Okay. I feel like it's the best thing to do still, though. Don't really want to put a Bidoof in the firing line, but if the path works, it's a great card to have in play. So we're going to do this. Save our guys some damage. Play the switch. Go Marnie. Well, we have a supporter for next turn. We've done the Marnie path play, so overall it's a pretty decent turn. Let's see how our opponent reacts to this. They typically play 4 Bog, so they do still have Stadium Bounces. They have the V-Star, but they, of course, cannot Phantom Star at the moment. The way that they're playing, it's telling me they have a clean research hand here. Oh, it's a Marnie. Okay. So they're not going to attack us unless they have an air balloon as well here. They're just going to chill. Okay, they are just going to chill. All right. Let's go get Bibarel. I think I like just committing to Arc. That's worked out pretty well. Two Psychic left in deck, but I'm forced to research regardless, so... I think I'm just making the next Bidoof, honestly. I want to always have the option to Bibarel, especially if this path stays for a while. Alright. In order to draw the most cards with Bibarel next turn, I might be benching the other Arc here. So I can play an extra card out of my hand to try and boss and hit DTE or switch to KO. Alright, so Stadium has been bounced, so our opponent now has the option to Phantom Star. They're no doubt looking for Gusting here. If they could find it with Damage Pump as well, that's where I'm very scared. This Arceus could go down this turn. Yeah, they're playing towards this. So they're going to boss, and they're going to Phantom Star. Oh, they have the Pump as well. Oh, no. They still need to pump 1 more damage, as well as find the switch out. There's sad face emoting before they've seen their final card. Live? Sometimes live? Oh, sometimes live. Insane. Okay. We're in the game. I feel like I never need this Zig. I feel like the belt could be useful, though. Let's... I'm always bossing. Let's see 3 cards before Starbirth here. I think I just go Tina Big Charm. I think that makes the most sense, right? And then we'll just load him up. All right. Let's see how the opponent responds again. I'm mostly afraid if they just boss again this turn, find a way to KO. If they can get Gengar in the bin, then pump onto the Guru, they'd have the 330 with belt. Uh-oh. No boss, please. Oh, no. Uh-oh. 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 The biggest issue is that I'm not allowed to attach this Psychic Energy. I have to boss this guy. And it has to be with this one, because I belted here. But I'm not allowed to do it with Psychic Energy, so I really need to draw energy for turn. I mean, I have prized the Psychic. Because we play 5 and 5. I guess we're setting our stall out. Bog doesn't matter. How bad is it for me to draw Grass Energy here? It's very bad if I draw exactly Grass Energy. Let's do this. I could also have been drawing towards Raihan. I still have that draw towards Raihan next turn. Oh no, we hit 2 other energy. Damn. So for us to be in a world of hurt, they need to boss again and just hit the Tina, right? Okay, well that's not happening. That's the good news. They have established KO though, because they have the Gengar, sorry. These prizes are the worst as well. They mean I can't thin down to Bibarel, right? I can draw 1. I have draw for turn. If it's a playable, I have draw 1. And it basically has to be Raihan. Oh boy. What a fine mess we've got into. Oh, that's a really good draw. Okay, let's get rid of an energy. Obviously taking nothing. May as well get rid of the stadium. Play the switch. It's a big 2 cards. Darn it. I think it's a Gust play and hope for the best. It's a very sad situation. We only had the Raihan to draw to, but we also had another Bibarel and Ultra Ball that we could have hit there. And we missed the 50-50 off prizes to just... I don't want to say win on the spot, but basically win on the spot. Let's do this. Okay. It was much smarter for me to have discarded the grass energy, not the DT. I'm realizing now that I could have had an easier retreat play here. And I would have Psychic and grass attached. Alright, they just pass. Let's play the Marnie. Is there a way that I win now that I have all 3 bosses gone? I don't think there is, right? They have to basically misplay. Let's see if they are feeling charitable. No, they have the game. All right. That was very unfortunate in our defense. The 50-50 prize card into not hitting out to Raihan, where 3 outs were basically good of 10. We were only drawing 2 still, but... Let's get into another game. We were certainly in that game. And that's one of the harder matchups, right? We're a purely 2 prize attacking deck, and that's what Zoroark wants to feast on, right? That's meant to be their wheelhouse, and it was still close. Alright, let's go first. Going first with Arc, always a good feeling. Have some good ball search for next turn as well. Lacking energy drop, but I can push. So seeing Confe means it's definitely not a Hawlucha matchup. So I'm happy to bin. We're going to go Crobatting to hit energy, that's for sure. Price a Psychic. Tina's obviously good against Tina, so I can't ignore that fact. It's greedy, but I might be keeping a path around and trusting the 5 cards that I draw. We really need path against Charizard. I guess we don't... Path is good against Tina, but it's not that great. Alright, fine. We'll play safe. Alright, you convince me. Also, the earlier we get Bibarel, the better in terms of, like, it's not just feast for Sableye. We at least make them just take the KO and that's it. Alright, we hit energy, which is the most important thing here. And we can just pass. So we're not playing Sharon's Care, we're not playing Hyper Potion, anything like that. No real defensive tools. So we're hoping that we're just like kind of too big for a constant cram hits kind of deal. If you want to improve the matchup, you could definitely add a Collapse Stadium or a Sharon's Care. I think those would be pretty handy. At the moment, the Big Charm is in for like the Tina matchup, but if you care more about Lost Box, you can tech in a different direction. See an early chorus from them into a Flower Selecting. Must be nice. And let the dance begin. They're going to Manaphy in the bin. They're going wild. Choice Belt and Twin. So it's probably like a Mirage Gate box that plays Snorlax. We now finally see the VIP pass. This will give us some insight. Five in the zone already. Now that's a scary sight. They're at 5 and they're already getting a Sableye out. Okay, they have the Cram. There is the Lax as well. Ugh, Rope is so gross. I guess it's just Bat. I guess it could be Tina, actually, if I'm committing to a switch anyway with V-Star power. Because it will grow bigger. Grow big and strong. I'm going to get yet more selects in. All right. Okay, we have a pretty easy Ultra Ball here for Bibarel. Pretty easy incisors. There's Twin. Let's play the Marnie. Starbirth grabbing Switch and Arc V-Star. Or do I grab... No, yeah, we prize Tina V-Star, so I have no choice in the matter. I might have grabbed a Tina V-Star there, just to... evolve up and not have the easy Sprinkle or Boss prize. How do I like Path? Path shuts off their Greninja play, which I'm kind of into. I don't want to be the one to be first on the scene, though. I want to get maximum value because it's our last stadium, so let's just swing. Alright, the opponent did get the first attack in. And I am very scared that they have higher damage output at their disposal. Like, having Mirage Gate for Lax plus Cram combos are very scary because they can just keep pace now two-shotting and be pretty happy about their situation. Let's see how Marnie number 1 has treated them. Well, it's a good start. They have Chorus. Basically, we're going to keep slamming Marnies at them and hope that at some point it stops the the price disparity. I also really want to fill up this bench space so there's not a Hawlucha they can gobble up. I actually choose to bin off a Cram. There are 8 already, so I imagine it's Sable time from now on. They are down a good amount of switching outs, but I doubt they have any issue with that. Ah, okay, nice. They're grabbing the water back. So they're going to gate so that they can go 1-1 and pay retreat here. Or are they going all into lax and starting to thump? Yep. See Quick Ball as well, Finning VIP, very nice. There's going to be attached retreat Confay. And a sprinkle, no doubt. I wonder where they want to sprinkle. Oh, they're going to get an extra select in? Sure. Oh, a free turn. Don't mind if I didgeridoo. Okay. That is big. It's bigger than that. It's large. Okay. Let's keep ripping the Marnies at them, because even though their hand size isn't that big, it's all the cherry-picked good cards from all their chorus and selecting, right? That's the thing you have to remember. It's always good cards in there that you're wheedling out. I'm just going to load up Tina here. Seems I'm holding on to DTEs. I don't feel that far ahead, but definitely getting a free attack in is really big. It'd be quite telling if they just go Sableye here. It would tell me that they don't have access to Chorus. Yeah, okay, nice. Or even if they do have access to Chorus, they aren't confident in their switch outs anymore. Means they don't have Mirage Gate or Chorus in hand, probably. Ah, okay. Completely wrong. Still could have been top deck. My psychic powers are poor. Alright, seems like some easy enough discards there. Next Sableye is ready to rumble. I imagine it's just Tina that goes down and they sprinkle a counter here. They could start sprinkling on the active as well if they wanted to, set it up for a thump. I probably do want to boss that Snorlax at some point. Okay. I think I want to keep them off the easy horn plays. Yeah. All right, not great. I don't really want to get rid of DT and switch just yet, so I think I hold the hand. I do really want to get back to Marnieing them, though. They're at 8. I would really like to get back to that, but I'd feel so silly if they just gusted and trapped. So I think we just have to play like this. The Snorlax isn't a top priority just yet. The fact that they can Gust KO the Crobat is my biggest issue. Obviously, they've kept it undamaged because they're going for that Lax boss play at some point, no doubt. That's a great way for them to catch up here. They Flower Select away another VIP. Also going to see the net. More selects. Got rid of Stadium, interesting. Ordinary Rod it is. Recover the attackers. And the energy, no surprise. Is it going to be boss? Yeah. Cram's back. Yep. Let's go here. A little late, but here's a Marnie. Now we have drawn a VSTAR out. I can put this guy down into play. I'm so paranoid of silly old echoing horn. Really does scare me. Let's thin some cards. Let's see some more cards. All right, we'll swing. Actually, low-key, don't mind drawing into this. If I have to tail smash as a panic play, it's an option. So now, whatever they Sableye to, I can evolve out of all of these. So I evolve out of losing to double Lost Mine, which is big. So they probably need to set up another Snorlax here for me to be in real trouble. We also haven't seen Greninja, but we know they play Greninja, right? Because it's water energy. Otherwise, they would 100% be showing us fire energy at some point. All right, we see a Colress. Let's see what they're going to go for. Lax number 2 hits the bin, but they could have Rod number 2 still. By bin, I of course mean the permanent bin. Man, I can't just call things the bin anymore because there's bin and landfill. Alright, Hisuian reveals the Greninja that was here the whole time. Kind of makes some sense. Can see the attached retreats. I'm going to see the Sableye get mining. So, we can evolve out of that. They're saying well played, but I'm still terrified. But I can't hand disrupt. I can't disrupt in any way. Possibly I make them draw less cards by taking out a Comfey here. Because I'm not afraid of a Lost Mine. Yeah. I think we've just about done it. There's no doubt that that free turn was, excuse me, massive for us. Where they just passed into us. They're going to keep digging, though. See if they have anything left up their sleeve. Not scared of any of this stuff, particularly. There's the big gig. It's not too great against VSTAR Pogs. Alright, we're just going to see the mine. So, played pretty disciplined there. I think did our best to deny Horn at any opportunity. So yeah, pretty solid. Nice win. A couple of close games there, to be fair. We didn't really see the Giratina in action as much as I would have liked. But maybe it's one for next time. I definitely think you can improve, like I said earlier, you can definitely improve the matchup. Even just one Hyper Potion is massive. You saw how one turn bought us an avenue to win the game. And I think that's definitely possible again with the list. Hyper Potion means you're probably just spamming Nova the entire game, but that's more or less what we just did against Lost Box, and it worked out pretty well. Yeah, I was happy benching all of these, knowing I had VSTARS accessible to me to evolve up my stuff and not give them easy Horn plays, because I imagine people will be adapting towards 60 with a Horn. And if I just gave them the Echoing Horn, they could like take out Hawlucha and do extra 30s like on the Arceuses and really make me worry. Or even just get those extra counters working around the board, like eventually on Crobat and whatnot. But yeah, some close games with Arctina. Let me know what you think about the archetype in general. Is this the best way to play Arc Bibarel these days? I'll hear it all down below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Cheers.